Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS, FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. What's been buzzing around the NFL circles lately is not just your average trade rumor or a minor roster shakeup. No, this is something that could potentially redefine the NFC South, and more specifically, the Atlanta Falcons' trajectory moving forward. And when we talk about big moves, we're talking about the possibility of Atlanta making a bold, aggressive play to bolster their secondary and turn up the heat in their division. The chatter out there, fueled by none other than Adam Schefter, is that the Falcons might be eyeing Los Angeles Chargers safety Derwin James. That's right, Derwin James, a name that's become synonymous with explosiveness, versatility, and game-altering plays on defense. Now, let's get into why this rumor has everyone in a frenzy. The Chargers, sitting at 4-2 and firmly in the playoff hunt, are facing some tricky injury issues in their secondary. They've got Derwin James, a 29-year-old hybrid safety and linebacker, who's been a cornerstone of their defense since he entered the league. James is a four-time Pro Bowler, a player who's known for his ability to come downhill like a freight train and make game-changing tackles. In 2025, he's already recorded 42 tackles, 1 interception, and 2 sacks, maintaining a high level of play with an 84, 2 PFF grade, placing him comfortably in the top 15 safeties in the league. His coverage stats are impressive too, with a 78.4 rating, allowing just a 1-1 passer rating when targeted, and he's been a real menace on third downs with 5 passes defensed in just 6 games. His blitz success rate of 45. 2% shows he's not just a safety who stays back. He's a versatile threat who can rush the quarterback and disrupt plays in multiple ways. But that's where things get interesting. The Chargers, despite their solid record and Herbert's 93, 1 QB rating, are also looking to trim their cap space and manage their roster more efficiently. Moving James could free up around $12 million in cap space, which they might use to bolster their trenches or address other needs. And of course, the conditional 4th-round pick in 2026 makes this a tantalizing option for Atlanta, who could be looking for a young, dynamic safety to anchor their secondary for years to come. From Atlanta's side, the benefits are obvious. They're currently dealing with a bit of a secondary apocalypse, with players like Phillips III on injured reserve, Bowman hamstring sidelined, Fuller limited by a knee injury, and Deblow out indefinitely with a forearm injury. Walker is on the PUP list with a groin injury, Mooney is questionable with an ankle issue, and Penix is day-to-day with a foot injury. The Falcons need reinforcements, and adding a player of Derwin James's caliber would be a massive boost. Not only would his versatility and playmaking ability elevate their defense, but it would also send a strong message to the NFC South that Atlanta is serious about competing at the highest level. Now, let's take a moment here, because this isn't just about adding another player. It's about transforming the entire defensive identity of the Falcons. James, who's 62 and weighs around 215 pounds, has a range of skills that make him a nightmare for offenses. His ability to cover tight ends, roam the deep middle, and blitz the quarterback makes him a perfect fit for the Falcons' defense, which has been looking for that extra spark. His 2024 season was notable with 125 tackles, 2 interceptions, and 3 sacks, showing that he's still in his prime and capable of making an immediate impact. And don't forget, the Falcons have been steadily building a competitive roster. They've already shown resilience this season with a 3-3 record and are looking to push forward. Adding a player like James could be the missing piece that helps them turn close games into wins and dominate on third down and in the red zone. His projected stats, around 110 tackles and 4 interceptions, are in line with his recent performance and could significantly boost Atlanta's secondary stats, which have been a bit inconsistent this year. Looking at the bigger picture, this move could have ripple effects across the NFC South. The division has been evolving rapidly, with teams like the Saints and Panthers also making moves to improve. But if Atlanta manages to land James and integrate him quickly, it could shift the division's power balance. The Falcons' defense would be among the best in the league, especially with the added pass rush boost from their existing players, and now, a safety who can do it all. This would make them a more formidable contender for the playoffs, especially considering their offensive stability led by Desmond Ridder and their emerging weapons. And speaking of the NFC playoff picture, you should keep an eye on the odds. Right now, Atlanta's chances to reach the Super Bowl are modest, around plus 6,000, but with a move like acquiring Derwin James, those odds could shorten significantly, perhaps even down to plus 3,500. That's the kind of upgrade that could push them over the edge, giving them the extra edge in key matchups. James's ability to generate turnovers, peaking at 2 interceptions per game, could be the difference maker in tight postseason games. Plus, he's a player who excels against play-action passes, which is crucial against some of the league's best quarterbacks. What really makes this potential trade exciting is the synergy it could create. The Falcons have a young core of defenders, and adding someone like James could elevate the entire unit. His presence on the field would diversify Atlanta's defensive schemes, allowing them to be more aggressive and unpredictable. His ability to cover, blitz, and tackle in the open field makes him a Swiss Army knife, and for a team like Atlanta that's aiming high, that kind of versatility is invaluable. Now, I know some of you might be wondering about the risks involved. Trading for a player like Derwin James isn't without its uncertainties. Injuries have been part of his career, especially ankle issues in 2024, and he's also faced suspension echoes from previous seasons. But if Atlanta can manage his health and integrate him into their system, the potential payoff far outweighs the risks. Plus, with the Chargers potentially looking to trim their cap and rebuild, this could be a win-win situation for both sides. So what does this all mean for the Falcons? Well, it signals their intent to compete now, not later. It shows they're serious about building a playoff-caliber roster and making a push deep into January. The secondary, which has been a concern, would get a massive upgrade, and the entire defense would become more cohesive and dangerous. With James in the lineup, opponents would have to game plan differently, knowing they're facing a secondary that's as aggressive and versatile as any in the league. And before we wrap up, remember that this kind of move also sends a message to the rest of the NFC South. The Falcons are not just content with being middle of the pack. They want to be division champions, and they're willing to make bold moves to get there. Whether or not this trade happens, the rumors alone have already added an extra layer of excitement and anticipation for Falcons fans everywhere. It's a reminder that this season is far from over and that Atlanta is positioning itself to be a serious contender once again. Pause here, just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Atlanta Falcons news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. So as we look ahead, the big question is whether the Falcons can pull off this deal and how quickly Derwin James could become a Falcon. If it materializes, it could be one of the most significant moves in the NFL this season, not just for Atlanta but for the entire league. And for us Falcons fans, it's an exciting time, one where hope, strategy, and boldness collide. The season is still young, and with a player of James's caliber potentially joining the fold, the Falcons could be on the verge of something special. Remember, the NFL is all about moments, and this could be one of those defining moments for Atlanta. Now I want to hear from you. What's your take on all this? Do you think the Falcons should go all in for Derwin James? How would he fit into the team? Are you excited about the possibility of seeing him in red and black? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because your opinion matters so much to us and to the Atlanta Falcons community. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, rumors, and deep dives into everything Falcons related. Stay tuned, keep the faith, and let's keep vibing with this incredible team. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Falcons.